You may have noticed that your dog is friendly to a lot of people. He tolerates the neighbor, he's polite to your friends, he accepts affection from your family members with the gracious, magnanimous energy of a minor celebrity at a fan event. Pleasant, present, and already thinking about something else. But there is one person he is not just friendly to, one person who gets something completely different, something that isn't available to anyone else in any room at any time under any circumstances. In the next few minutes, you'll learn 5 specific, documented behaviors that dogs reserve exclusively for their primary attachment figure, the one human who sits at the center of their entire social world. Not love in general, not affection on a spectrum, the specific, neurologically distinct, behaviorally expressed love that only one person gets. Real science, real behavior. Let's find out if that person is you. Number 1. The sound he makes for nobody only when he sees you. Every dog has a greeting vocabulary. Barks for strangers, silence for people he's indifferent to, a tail wag and a sniff for people he likes well enough, and then, for one person, something else entirely, a specific sound. Maybe it's a high-pitched whine that climbs in pitch as you get closer to the door. Maybe it's a low, almost conversational moan that sounds less like a dog and more like someone trying very hard to form a word. Maybe it's a series of short, breathy vocalizations that have no functional purpose whatsoever except to express the fact that you are here and he cannot physically contain what that means to him. That sound is not random. It is not generic excitement. It is a vocalization your dog produces in response to one specific neurological event, the recognition of you. And research on dog communication confirms that these individualized greeting vocalizations are among the most acoustically distinct sounds dogs produce. Nobody else gets that sound, not because they're less lovable, because they're not you. Number 2. He sleeps differently when you're the one in the room. You've seen your dog sleep in a lot of configurations. The tight little circle, the one ear up monitoring position, the "I'm technically resting, but I'm also fully prepared to respond to any development" pose. And then there's the other one, the completely ridiculous, totally undignified, fully committed sprawl that only happens in one specific circumstance, when you're in the room. One leg out, then another, then the full surrender, the dead weight collapse, the slow exhale that sounds like a creature releasing every concern it has ever had about anything. This is not just deep sleep. This is physiologically distinct deep sleep, and the person in the room when it happens is not a coincidence. The full sprawl, the unguarded, undefended, completely exposed version of sleep only happens when your dog's nervous system has made a definitive ruling. This person is the safest thing in my environment. Nothing bad will happen while they're here. I can actually rest. You are the condition under which he actually gets to rest. That's not dependence. That's trust at its absolute maximum, and he only hands it to one person. Your dog has already turned out to produce exclusive vocalizations calibrated to your specific neurological signature and only achieves deep REM sleep in your presence. If this channel isn't already where you spend part of every week, that ends today. Subscribe right now, turn on those notifications, and come back every week for content that makes the ordinary things your dog does feel like the extraordinary things they actually are. Hit the button. Your dog sleeps better when you're around. Your brain will too after you subscribe to this channel. Number 3, he checks your face before he decides how to feel about anything. Something new appears in the environment, a piece of furniture in a different spot, a visitor your dog hasn't met, a sound from outside that could mean nothing or could mean something. Your dog notices it. His ears come up, his posture shifts, and then, before he does anything else, before he decides what any of it means, he looks at your face. Not the face of the nearest person, not the tallest person, not the person holding food. Your face, specifically, immediately as a reflex. This behavior, called social referencing, is one of the most significant markers of primary attachment in dogs, and it's one of the most revealing things a dog can do in terms of identifying whose opinion actually matters to him. The science behind it is compelling. A landmark study published in Animal Cognition in 2012 demonstrated that dogs in ambiguous situations look first to their primary owner, not other familiar humans in the room, to determine their emotional response. The dog's subsequent behavior, whether to approach or avoid, whether to relax or stay alert, whether to explore or retreat, was directly and measurably influenced by the facial expression of their primary person. Think about what that means for a moment. Your dog doesn't just love you, he has appointed you his official emotional consultant, his chief reality officer. The one whose read on any given situation is the one he trusts above all others. You could be standing in a room with 6 other people who all look worried, and if you look calm, he'll take calm. You could be in a room where everyone looks fine, but if something in your face shifts, he'll feel it before anyone else in the room notices. He doesn't outsource his emotional assessment to the majority. He goes directly to his source. That's not just attachment. That's a level of specific trust that most humans never extend to anyone. Number 4, he brings you the thing he loves most. Every dog has a thing. The toy, the rope, the specific, slightly destroyed, inexplicably beloved object that lives in a place of honor and gets carried around at high emotion moments. And here's the thing about that thing. He doesn't bring it to everyone. He brings it to you. Not because you're always the one who plays with him, not because you're standing in the right spot, because the gift of a beloved object in canine social behavior is a deeply selective, intentional act, and the selectivity is the point. In wolf pack behavior, returning to the group with something valuable is a social bonding act, an offering that says, I am part of this, I am invested in this, I want you to share in what I have. Dogs have carried that behavior into domestic life and reoriented it toward the humans they're most bonded to. When your dog brings you the thing he loves most, he is not just initiating play, he is performing the highest form of social offering in his behavioral vocabulary. He is bringing his most precious resource to his most precious relationship. One research work shows that dogs' object gifting behavior is consistently biased toward their primary attachment figure, occurring at significantly higher rates than with secondary household members or guests. So he has options. He has other people he could bring it to, but he chose you. He always chooses you. That toy isn't just a toy. It's his way of saying, out of everything I have and everyone I know, this goes to you. Number 5, he lets his guard down in a way that has no physical explanation. You know the face, not the alert face, not the playful face, not even the happy face he gives everyone. The other face, the one that only happens around you, the slightly goofy, slightly open, utterly undefended expression that makes your dog look less like a sophisticated sensory organism and more like a creature who has completely forgotten to perform any version of dignity. Maybe it's the lip that catches on his teeth. Maybe it's the eyes that go slightly unfocused. Maybe it's the way he makes a sound that has no precedent in any animal vocabulary, and yet you both understand exactly what it means. That face is not an accident. It is the behavioral and physical signature of a nervous system that has fully, completely, without reservation, relaxed. He makes it for you, because you are the only person in his entire world in whose presence his whole system, every survival instinct, every layer of social monitoring, collectively decides it can stand down. That is not affection. That is not fondness. That is not even love in the casual, everyday sense of the word. That is your dog at full biological capacity telling you something he has no other way to say. With you, I am completely safe. With you, I am completely myself. There is no one else in the world this is true about. You are my favorite. You have always been my favorite. There was never really any competition. 5 things. All of them quiet, all of them easy to miss if you don't know what you're looking at. None of these are performances. None of them were trained. Every single one is the involuntary expression of a dog who has made a decision, quietly, completely, irrevocably, about who matters most. Dogs are not indiscriminate in their love. They are, if anything, more precise about it than humans are. They don't spread it thin to keep everyone comfortable. They invest it fully, specifically, and permanently in the one person whose presence changes everything. So, if your dog does these 5 things for you, you're not just loved, you're chosen, with full information, without reservation, by a creature who had every other option and still picked you. If this video made you think of your dog or made you quietly certain that you are, in fact, the favorite, like this video. One tap. It costs nothing and it puts content like this in front of the dog owners who need it most. Comment below and tell us the one thing on this list that your dog does for you most. Describe the face. We read every single comment every week without exception. And subscribe if you aren't already here. This channel publishes every week real canine science, real behavior research, delivered in a way that makes you feel like you finally understand the animal you've been sharing your life with. Your dog chose you. Now you know exactly how he's been showing you. Subscribe. We'll see you in the next video.